This is Anne Butler, the Book Griffin. Welcome to the podcast. Those of us who read women's fiction or romantic novels will be familiar with the plot device or trope of the main character who has an injury that has left them with significant scars, who is an amputee, is in a wheelchair, is hearing impaired or visually impaired, and so on. One of the most striking to me of these types of stories is the character of Gervaux in Flowers from the Storm, which was written by Laura Kinsale. I loved this story. It's an historical romance and starts off with Gervaux, who's a bit of a cad, leaving the bedroom of the woman he's having an affair with. He bumps into her husband, who's come home earlier than expected. Not surprisingly, the husband is not best pleased. He challenges Gervaux to a duel, and Gervaux accepts the challenge and names his second. On his way home, he has a bit of a turn but thinks nothing of it. The next morning, his friend, his nominated second, arrives at his home so they can prepare. But Gervaux has no memory of the encounter with the husband. Skipping ahead, they arrive at the location where the duel will take place. The next thing we know, he's in an institution and he's no longer himself. The period in which this story is set means that there is very little understanding of what has happened to our hero. And what happened was, he had a stroke. What made me love this story is how Laura Kinsale described Gervaux' frustration at not being able to communicate, of being stripped of his dignity, and the fact that not even his title can protect him from the mistreatment he receives. He gets help from an unexpected quarter. A relative of one of the owners of the institution, who he had met while he was well, recognizes that Gervaux is still in there somewhere. And, without giving out any more spoilers, finds a way not only to communicate with him, but to protect him from his so-called carers and the relatives who are by now trying to have him declared mentally incompetent so they can get their grubby hands on his money and his estate. This was a wonderful story, although, for me, some parts of it were difficult to read. The character of Maddie, Gervaux' saviour, was often irritating, but all in all, this was a good read and I recommend you give it a go. Flowers from the Storm was written by Laura Kinsale and was first published in 1992. This has been Anne Butler, the Book Griffin. You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok by logging in and searching for the Book Griffin.